right? The South were Southern Democrats up until, or I'm sorry, they were Republicans until Lincoln freed the slaves, and then it became Southern Democrats. Then the Southern Democrats were the Southern Democrats until Kennedy decided that he was going to go and end segregation. And then you look at it from the 60s on, the South has voted Republican. As a whole, we have to not take party lines and say, oh, I'm Republican because of this, or I'm Democrat because of this, which is, just like you said, another form of being able to control. It's fear of not knowing what the other side has to offer that can change this culture and this country as a whole, because we don't see color. We don't see red and blue in that situation. We don't see black and white. We see people for who they are. And I think if we could ever get to that point, which I don't know in our time we ever will, but if we could, we can get so much more done, as a world.
You can't ban a word.
What's
There's no words that stop. Like, everyone's gonna find
It's
something
like
offensive.
the same word of honky, honky, cracker, whitey, like everything that's ever's been spilled
But
out.
honestly, if I were to call you a cracker, do you know what that word means and the meaning behind that word?
Let's just be honest.
No.
People don't know what the Civil War was really about to begin with. There's people outside that, like, there are people in Pennsylvania that is going to say this: the South will rise again.
Yeah.
You're part of the North. Like, you understand that you are literally the people that they were fighting against. And I'm sorry, certain situations are true. The South, right, should have no, when it comes to the civil side of the war, right, in the Confederacy, they don't get a say in history because they didn't win.
Yeah.
So like when you have all these different statues and people upset about these things getting ripped down, guess what? They literally represent standing up against the federal government that we now stand for. Like they were the stars and bars. So at the end of the day, as much as people want to fight about it, there should be no Robert E. Lee. There should be no, because these guys literally tell you to defy the government. If that's what we accept, then that's okay. But then don't knock somebody when they want to stand up against the tax or stand up against, because it's going against what you're teaching two different views. Like, I understand freedom, I understand the right to say, but you don't get a say when you don't win the war. If do you think that there would really be an Abraham Lincoln statue if the South won? You think they would literally be like,
no way. There's no way.
Getting ripped right out of the ground. You might not even have Washington or anyone else before that. No, absolutely. It's a shame that we can't, as a culture, all come to an agreement that, like, listen, I understand that the Bill of Rights is something that is fantastic, and it's what our country is based on, and we've made amendments to it. But literally, like, when you talk about your right to bear arms, you're literally talking about a time where if me and you had beef, right,
we could go out in the backyard and shoot each other
with rocks.
Yes,
we would take a gun, stuff rocks in it, right, with gunpowder,
and shoot each other.
And then, like, all right, like if we really have beef, like 25 minutes from now, we both load up our guns and come after each other, we really got problems. But if not, like, after shooting my gun at you and you shooting your gun at me, and we go, all right, like, I just don't have the energy to just stuff this rock with gunpowder in it. Okay, we're cool. Like, let's just call it truce. You don't steal my cow, I don't steal your cow. We're good. And like, it's a completely different time. Like, now we're talking literally people with assault rifles. Like, there's no reason, if you're a hunter, to protect yourself. If I can't hit you with a shotgun from up on top of the steps, you should have my shotgun in your hands, and you can have my house too, because I can't protect myself. But an AR-15 is something that's like beyond my control when it comes to the no human being, I guess no normal human being in society needs to have a military type assault rifle. I just don't. I don't see the need for it. A 6-shooter. If you can't shoot me with 6 bullets, you can have whatever's in my house.
Home defense, like, having an AR, that's not necessary for that. Like, I don't need. The thing's designed for range.
But right, like, when people hide behind some of these feelings and amendments, right? The Second Amendment's the right to protect yourself against a tyrannical government. The government wants to come in and take your shit, they're taking it. I'm sorry to curse, but if they want to come and take it, they're taking it, and there's nothing you're going to do to stop them. Especially at this point, because they can come in the middle of the night, mug you, take you out of the house, and be like, oh, well, it must have been some drug cartel he owed money to. We found these notes, or we found these drugs, and this. They could do anything at this point. But that's
the thing too. Like, if they come here, like, they're bringing as many people as they can to get the job done. Like, they don't have a limit.
No.
They don't have limited resources.
They can lie about everything. I mean, when you really look at it, right, and I don't mean to get too into conspiracies, but really, like, I don't believe that everything that's ever told to us is meant. You're supposed to get an idea of what it is between reading and listening to multiple different sources. Like, we're slowly getting fed the Scranton Times, one newspaper in one city.
Sure.
You're getting the WNEP, which is broadcasted by Sinclair, which is copied over how many times, you know? So, like,
Shamrock Entertainment, Sinclair, like you said, owns three different stations in this area.
You know?
Yeah, major stations.
So we're slowly getting fed into the system, you know, and like I think it's like you said, putting your kid in front of a TV, putting them in front of a tablet.
Yeah.
It's easier to have your kid be babysat by someone else than to be actually involved in it. And we've slowly lost that part, like where my grandfather would come home and play baseball with my dad and throw the ball in the yard. My kid doesn't want to go outside. Like, yeah, he'll go to the water parks or he'll go to like the park itself. But when it comes to like actually wanting to practice baseball or anything, he doesn't have any feel for that. There's no killer instinct in someone like him, because and I think it's what you said is
it's learned from birth, bro.
It's babying them. It's constantly just saying, you know, hey, you're the baby, you know, let's have fun, let's enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, you're definitely spoon fed.
And you know, the other thing that you really look at now when it comes to the culture as a whole is you don't even have neighbors that talk to neighbors anymore. You know, I come in, I know neighbors, right, in certain neighborhoods, my friends will tell me, where they'll come in, they'll go into the carport, they'll open the garage, drive their car in, put it down, go in their house, do what they want to do, come back out, because, you know, we're working 40, 50, 60 hours. If you look at it now, we are slowly going back into the times where the unions fought for 40-hour work weeks. The 40-hour work week is gone for the most part because you have to have two people working 40 hours a week, which is now technically an 80-hour work week.
That's true.
You know,
it takes two people to run a household now.
And that's barely
economically.
making it.
Yeah.
Barely making it. You know, if you can save up to take your kid to Disneyland, you're lucky. And people can't even do that anymore. Like, there are people in Disneyland that are serving you food that don't even have the money to take their own kids to Disneyland on an employee discount. Yeah. And that's sad, man. You know what I mean? But people want to fight about, you know, and I'm not saying everyone should get 15, but as a culture, if we raise the minimum wage to 15, then that means people making 15 should make 18 or 19. And it should progress up, because I think as a whole, these people at the top and the rich people have to, some point in time, get... Tupac Shakur said it the one time, right? That, like, you knock on a door, right, and you see people just throwing a party, they're just hanging out, they're throwing, you know, they're having food, this, that, the other thing. You knock the second day, you know, now they're having a party again, they're throwing the food this time. You knock the third time, you're asking nicely, hey, can we come in? Like, after the fourth or fifth day, you're just picking the lock, coming through, stealing, because that's all you have left. You've asked so many times to be nice, you've asked so many times to be involved, that eventually you just got to take. And I think that's where you're seeing some of these people going. I really think as a culture, you're going to see people wanting to take, like, you know, like we said before, there is a corporate greed in this country that won't in our time, we'll probably never see it swing back the pendulum.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
Well, global warming will kill us all before then, so.
Yeah.
You know?
The day after tomorrow type stuff.
I love the memes that you see, like, I find them a little bit funny. Like, global warming is a real thing. It's a real subject. You know, people, do they kind of take it seriously? I mean, it won't happen in their lifetime.
No.
And if it does,
care?
Why would they care? And that's the thing. GoFundMe generation.
Speaking of GoFundMe, why don't you guys go fund the Podguyz Podcast? We could use some money if you got it out there.
Well, you want to get paid right now?
It would just be nice to be able to get ourselves some actual equipment. The microphone is nice, so we like a little drop back here that makes it look like we're back in Greece. Don't forget. Don't forget that from the first episode. That's my goal.
I can get a good... We'll have to buy a green screen. Yeah. We'll buy a green screen.
So if you guys want to fund a green screen, that would be nice. You know, just send us some money, especially some people from Colombia, some people from Russia.
Germany.
Yeah.
Are there Russians listening?
Yes.
Talk a lot of shit on
international,
food,
man. International.
That's why they listen to see. They're like, listen, these guys over here were talking about you, Putin.
Putin. Here comes the anthrax.
Pootie, baby. We love you. We love you, Pootie.
We love the Pootie.
I'm
Yeah, I'm going to use that in a commercial. Love love the booty. But once again, guys, thanks for watching, listening. The live stream was kind of hanky today, but I mean, kind of is what it is. It's in 3 different parts, and we didn't tape the last of the 4th part, but that's when you get the magic of podcasting. So listen to us on iTunes. You can listen to us on iHeartRadio. You can listen to us on Spotify. You can listen to us on Pocket Cast. And I'm thinking hopefully... No. Actually, they did approve us on Google Play as well. So if you go to Google Play and you go to your Dot or whatever system you have, and say, hey, Google, play the Podguyz Podcast. They'll play us. So
Don't forget Madam Jenny's stand-up comedy, July 11th. Come on out. Get your tickets. Find out what the password is so you can get inside. It's going to be very nice. Very, very fantastic setup.
Swanky.
Could be a good time. We got some laughs. We're going to sling some drinks, some jokes. Madam Jenny's. Don't forget it.
And thank you guys. I guess we'll talk to you soon. Peace.